with just trimmers. We're gonna get it all the way down.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm gonna come in with a razor and we'll come in afterwards.
All right, bet. I'll change my mind, Shay. I don't think I want to do it anymore. Man.
There's some freedom to it, man. Look.
Absolutely. Nah, man, honestly, I've been, for the past like week and a half or 2 weeks now, man.
With just trimmers, we're gonna get it all the way down.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm gonna come in with a razor and we'll come in afterwards.
All right, bet. I'll change my mind, Shay. I don't think I want to do it anymore. Man.
There's some freedom to it, man. Look.
Absolutely. Nah, man, honestly, I've been, for the past like week and a half or 2 weeks now, man, every time I take a shower. Bro, you gotta get the camera, you gotta get like just a fucking close up of this shit so I can send it to my mom.
Look.
You sure? I mean, straight face, bro, straight face.
Woo! All right.
Here, let's duck face it, bro. Let's get him this duck face. Fuck!
Gotta have fun with it.
That is awesome.
Man, I'll be honest. This is my experience with going through being bald, right?
Yeah.
It took me a little while. Like, it took me probably a couple weeks to get used to seeing myself without hair.
Right.
And then, like, on the cool, like, my head was real pale. Like, because I have dark hair, so you have light hair. So it's not a lot lighter than your skin. But, like, I'm dark, you know? And my head was, like, blue.
Right.
And so it took me a couple weeks to tan it up. Didn't take long, a couple weeks, and it was like, you know, same color as my face kind of deal. Not long. And then, but it took me a minute, you know, to see myself that way.
Right.
And now, if I could grow hair, I'd still be fucking bald.
You don't
bro.
think you would?
I wouldn't grow hair, bro.
Really?
I love being bald. I mean, I love it. Man, I'll tell you what else, dude. Like, women fucking love it.
Really?
I would, you know, I always thought women like dudes with hair. There's something about it that's just like, man, it's just mature. You know what I mean? It's just like men, like, be buff, have a beard, and be bald. Like, you don't have to grow some facial hair, bro. You don't have to. you know, you're at an age right now where, like, you're probably naturally losing it some anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I really do have a receding hairline, so.
Yeah. And so, fuck it though. Dude, I'll be honest with you, man. There's something so confident about being bald. Like,
It's bold. It's a bold
It
statement.
is, man. It's like, and you know what? It's like, fuck it. Like, I don't have time in my life to care, right? About hair. Like, I
Right.
don't. Like, it's funny because I do it for a living, right? Like, I care
Right.
about other people's hair, but I ain't got time for my own. Like, I don't care anymore. All I care about is like shit that matters.
Right.
You know? Like, am I being a good dad? Are my bills being paid? Am I setting up my retirement? You know,
Actual
like,
important
am
shit.
I happy? Like,
Right.
you know, am I doing it, like something with my life that's worth like my time? Like,
Right.
That's the shit I focus on.
Oh, and dude, honestly, I feel like there's a really big like block and fear for a lot of people to go bald,
Voice, though.
especially
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're stuck with that.
What do you think about
So,
this camera angle shot?
I mean, how have you been feeling about it? You been nervous going bald? Has it bothered you, that notion?
Man, honestly, so like it's not like
Because it bothered me. I mean, I'm gonna be real. Like,
yeah,
you know, right when I was like, man, I looked at my hair one day and I was like, dude, that shit looks real thin. So like, you know, I know mine's male pattern baldness. Mine's a whole different shebang. But it was like, I was looking at my hair one day and it's starting to get thin.
You
And like,
realized
I
that.
still have I still had a lot more hair than a lot of motherfuckers I cut with hair.
right.
But at the same time, I
It
was
wasn't
like,
what you wanted.
yeah,
you
it's
know?
like, man, it's thin. It's like I'm losing my hair. Like, why am I holding on to something that's not important?
Right.
And I shaved it, and it took a while for me. Once I finally got used to it, I was like, man, this is the truth. Like, I don't like.
Right. Man, so
I
to-
wouldn't go back.
I guess to answer your question, like it's just change, you know? And it's like one of those uncomfortable things because I've never obviously been bald. And
Yeah.
it's like, I think there is that mental block of like, fuck, what if girls don't want to like hang out with me because of it? But it's like, I know that's all in the head.
Yeah.
And so like, honestly, dude,
It
my
took me
whole
about a week of that.
my whole fucking mental perception of cancer as a whole is not that this is a bad thing that I'm having to go through, but I'm trying to reframe it as a big change event, which is
Okay.
something that I'm kind of like, I'm going to be talking about this a lot in content, and I'm going to be writing about this a lot and stuff like that. But basically, big change event is it can be a traumatizing event because there's massive change in your life.
Yeah.
But if you have a good relationship with God, I'm just going to say God because I believe in God, and
Fair
if
enough.
you have a good social support system, think old-timey village, town, like true,
Yeah.
like a true support system, then pain is good.
Man,
it really is good.
So I've noticed as a person, I've always seeked it out to have problems. I put myself in positions that are difficult all the time. And some people are like, damn, I don't envy him, always doing this, that, and the other.
Right.
And then once they see me reap the rewards from it, they're always like, oh, I envy him.
Right.
But they don't want to go on the journey.
Exactly.
And so I see that. I feel that.
Yeah, so like for me, it's like, okay, yeah, this is not going to be fun. But what do we always ask for? Wisdom. How
Yeah.
do you get wisdom? Perspective. Perspective is the greatest gift that comes
Comes
along
from
with
trials.
me.
It comes with trials and tribulations.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to see all sides of the fence to
So
understand the fence line. You know what I mean?
it's still scary, man. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like it's like, it's self-confidence shit, but at the same time, like I've already had to overcome so much shit with my perception of myself and my self-confidence due to having one hand as a kid growing up.
I could see that as a child being difficult.
Yeah, like, dude.
As an adult, you seem to make the best of it. Like,
Right.
I mean, me, I always fuck with you about it because, like, honestly, to me, it's like, I'm impressed. It's so hot, man.
Oh, this is a weird feeling. Having a razor on my head? What? So how many people do you come in that get fresh shaves often?
A lot, yeah. So I cut a lot of bald guys, and a lot of bald guys will take care of their own head, right? They'll shave their own head, or they'll use trimmers to get it real short, but they don't actually shave it, right?
Right.
And then every once in a blue moon, they'll come and have me do it. Now, if they have beards, I see them once a month. I
Right.
shave their head
And
and I do their beards. I see them at least once a month, though. You know what I mean? I see them
Gotcha.
every other week, every 3 weeks, once a month, somewhere around there. Some is maybe as much as every 6 weeks, but I see them often enough. And when I see them, I do their head and their beard because they enjoy someone else doing it because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of upkeep.
Right.
So, as someone who is bald, you know, and does my own head, like I go and buy, you know, to each their own on this, but like I have like my face shaving razor, which I use a Mach 3. Like, do I think they're the best? Nah, I don't have a super thick beard. I don't need the best, you know what I mean? I got a beard. A Mach 3 is readily available at every store to get blades, whether it's Walgreens, Dollar Store, Walmart, where I can get them anywhere, right? Amazon, whatever.
Right.
They're everywhere, so they're easy for me to find. But when I shave my head, I use the women's razors. I use a Venus.
Because it's like got the built-in pads
It's got those
or
big
whatever.
pads on them, and they help like kind of gel up the head while you're shaving it because it's so much more like, it's a very different texture than
Right.
you know, your beard hair.
Right.
And so I like the Venus razors, but I still keep my Mach 3 because they do have such a big pad that right here around the ear, I can't ever get it real tight.
Right.
You know?
Well, and have you ever used like a one blade, like a Phillips one blade?
Yeah.
Close rate. It's like it doesn't really shave, but it gets it so close you can't even honestly tell. The detail.
Yeah.
I'll probably just use something like that.
So electric shavers are fine. So I don't use a lot of electric anything because what it does is the razors inside of them tear the hair, and I get more ingrowns from that.
Really?
Because it's like, all right, so if a barber were on here and they were to talk to me about it, they would go, oh, you don't clean your tool enough, right? But like I clean mine. I use a disinfectant. I use it between cuts. But what happens is it turns that hair, it cuts it at such a fine powder that those powders get clogged with inside the pore. And so it doesn't really matter about the tool itself. When I'm doing the top and stuff like that, it cuts that hair, it turns it to a powder, and those powders fall down in my pores and they get infected.
Gotcha.
And so it clogs up the pore like any other pimple would be. It has nothing to do with cleanliness.
Right.
Now, if you don't have a clean tool, yes, it will cause ingrowns.
So is there like any benefit to like?
But I'm prone to them.
Is there any benefit? Because I get razor burn on my neck pretty bad if I
Yeah.
use a regular razor for some reason. Maybe I'm using a dull blade. I don't know. I've just always had that issue.
No, you're probably shaving it wrong.
Okay. Against
You
the
know?
grain or something like that.
You should go cross grain or with the grain, depends on, I always start with cross. If cross doesn't bother, I'll go against, we'll get tighter. If cross bothers, then I'll go with the grain and we just won't get it as tight.
Right.
And that's how I kind of base off of those things. And so like, when you're doing your head, for instance, like if you get razor burn doing it a certain way, the difference too between a neck, getting razor burn on your neck is you have to really stretch the skin.
Yeah.
And your skin isn't as stretchy, I would say, not the word elastic, on the head as it is on the face. So when
it's
you're doing
tighter generally as well, right?
Yeah, so it does a lot of the work for you, so it's a lot easier to shave. But even you feel me pulling tension on it,
Right.
Like when you're shaving at home, you do the same thing with a razor. You just pull tension. So what you're doing is you're actually, when you pull, let's say my hair is going this way, right? Going down. And I pull the skin this way, it makes the hair laying like this do this.
It stands it up a little bit.
And
better.
so
yeah.
then if the follicle's like this, there is a flap of skin on this side of it. It's very small, but it's there. It's a small flap of skin right there. And what will happen is that once you lay the skin back down naturally, that flap covers over the hair and it literally makes it a tighter shave.
Gotcha.
So that's how you feel that being a tighter shave that way. So that's why going against the grain, if you got a good like skin stretch, you can do that.
Right.
So if you don't get this all the way shaved with a razor in the
Right.
future, it'll be fine. Like it'll still look good.
Well, so okay, here's a question for you. If I kind of have trouble with that because I do have one hand, so I'm not really sure how the whole
Oh
like,
damn! I didn't even think of that.
holding on to skin.
Yeah.
Stuff.
didn't
If I
think
come
of
in
that.
here like bi-weekly, like what
Yeah,
do you
that's good.
typically charge just for doing like just the
the head shave,
head shave? Like what you're doing
$30.
tonight? Okay.
$30.
I didn't know if it was more work, less work.
No.
Because I mean,
It's more work, but
Right.
I don't charge more. I should charge $50. I
Really?
just don't. I don't.
well, and
I know y'all can do it yourself. I know it's a treat.
Right.
But and you charge for treats. That's kind of how that goes. But at
Right.
the same time, it's like, man, I can do it in this. It's more work, but I can do it in the same amount of time. So I don't really care what I have to do in that time. I want to be paid a certain amount an hour.
Right.
I want $1 a minute
Right.
to do what I do. You know, I'd like a little more.
So basically, you're telling me only benefits of going bald. So I just need to get over it mentally.
It's it's mental, but man, there's a confidence that comes. Like, there's a study I read because I was talking to TJ about it. I was like, bro, I don't know what it is, man. I love being bald, bro. Like, I like it a lot. And I was like, I really was scared of it. I dreaded it. I didn't want it. I went and did it. Kind of forced to it, but isn't everyone who does it, like, for the most part, you either do it at like a bed or something, but whatever it is, it's still being forced.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like you
like
can't.
no one just
generally,
does it, really.
generally, there's nobody that just
military,
goes bald.
whatever it is. Yeah. People
Yeah.
people tell you in some form or fashion how it's like it's gonna have to happen. And so, like, you're forced upon it. And then I didn't like it at first. And I just, like you, like, I was like, I'm getting on top of it. I'm losing my hair. It's getting thin. I don't like it. I just came in one day and just took a fucking trimmer to it, went to it.
Right.
Now, I'm like, it took, like I said, it took me a couple weeks to, like, see myself. I felt awkward in my own skin, looking at myself in the mirror. I felt, like, bashful to myself. It took a little time. And then it, like, now there's, like, a confidence that's there, like, dude, I know that women like it. I have people, like, rub my head all the time, whatever.
Right.
But then it was like, what, like, I didn't notice any decrease in, you know, conversation from women.
Right.
And I was like, all right, cool. Like, that's cool. I look good bald. And I had a lot of my friends like, man, that actually looks really good on you. It took a little time. I had to get the confidence to sell it to them before I got the compliment. I didn't get it being bashful. So I had to kind of get used to seeing myself. And then once I was used to it and it didn't change my personality, I'm walking around just being bald, then people are like, damn, it looks good on you.
So that's kind of the thing too, is like, right? Because it's like, you know, is this gonna change my perception of myself? Is this gonna change my identity into somebody of a lesser of a person or something like that?
I think it does. I think it definitely does change your identity as a person. I would, but I would say it's more in a direction of maturity than it would be like. Did you notice that you're more youthful when your hair was longer?
Right.
You're a little bit more goofy,
Right.
youthful, stuff like that. Like, you become a lot more like business-oriented bald. I don't know. At least I did. That was my experience. You know, like, I had a mullet before I cut it bald. You know, and then I rocked a skullet, which was retarded, but I loved it. Right? Like, fuck it. You know, I'm a barber. I can do that. So it's like, you know, but I'm wearing my hair before I had to get rid of it. And anyway, like, I wore it all these different ways, and it was a little longer. I felt young. I was wearing, like, all my 90s shit all the time, like my 90s Tommy Hilfiger overalls, player ass windbreakers just dripping in sauce left and right. You know, it was awesome. And then I went bald, and then it was like, like, this shit doesn't look good on me anymore. Like, clothing, for instance,
It was
changed.
out of place.
Yeah,
almost.
it didn't look right.
Right.
And then it was like, man, but I look real good in a suit. I look real
Right.
good in polo. I
Right.
look real good in button-ups. Like, damn, this looks good on me wearing this. And all the things that ended up being was, for the most part, like, older shit, you know?
Right.
Like, more mature-looking stuff. I think that longer hair is for the youth, and as you get older, your hair gets shorter.
Right.
You know, not always, but like when you meet guys that are 45 years old and they've got really nice, luscious, longer hair, they may be wise like an old man, but they still have the heart of a youthful man.
Right.
Right. When you get a balder guy, you'll get a guy who, like, it's a little more stern, a little more tough, a little, like,
Right.
you know, the maturity level.
Well, okay,
to me,
so-
that's more of a man.
Right. And I understand what you're saying. So, like, you're almost like you're seeing it as a way of you, like, leveling up to the next level of manhood in a way.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I felt it that way.
So
Yeah.
what would you say?
It's almost like a rite of passage for a man, right?
Right.
You don't really it doesn't happen as boys,
Right.
you know? But, like, all those things that I talked about, like, even if it was like you lost a football fantasy bet, you still do that older in age. You don't do that at 6.
Right.
You know,
Right.
every reason that you would shave it, military, cancer for the most part, you know. I mean, not that it doesn't happen in fucking children, but, you know.
Right. Well, so, okay, here's a question. What would you say to somebody that maybe is like a beautiful 25-year-old girl, or even maybe like 30s, 40-year-old girl who's about to go through the same shit that I'm going through right now,
With shaving?
but she's a girl. Like, how does she handle that?
Man, that's a good question and one I couldn't answer. I know nothing about being a woman.
Right.
Just fair enough, bro. Like, I don't know nothing. I grew up in a beauty shop. I listened to women my whole life. I've been around women my whole life. You know, at my house now, I got 2 girls, 2 girl dogs, a girlfriend. I mean, nothing but surrounded by women my whole life. But I couldn't answer that one.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know what it's like to be a woman. I got no idea. What it's like to be a man, I understand.
Right.
Woman, nah. Someone in your position, I don't have no idea.
Right.
Being a man, going bald. I've got that experience.
Right.
That I can speak for.
Well, and I feel like there can still be some takeaways, right? Because it's like, if I still think that the
Man.
takeaway of just owning it and
Dude,
just
there
fucking
is.
like lean into it. Like,
I mean-
even if you're a woman, I feel like that has to be better than trying to resist and like hang on to your hair as long as you can. and,
Speaking
like,
for a woman, couldn't do it. Like, but you know what? If wigs make you feel better, wear a wig. If you
Right.
just fuck it and be bald, man, look, there is lots of women out there that are fine as fuck bald.
I've seen some beautiful women.
Fine, bro. Christy Mack. Whew, I know she's a porn star, but still, she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
She's beautiful.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
went, you know, she had her little Britney Spears moment. She went through all that shit with her abusive man and in the porn industry and all the whatever. And she went and shaved her head. I was like, God, she's gorgeous, like so pretty, like
Yeah.
oof. And then Hope, my ex-wife, when we were married, you know, I took her hair from like under boob length to a bald fade, short. I loved it.
Right.
I loved it. So I don't think like women can be bald and be sexy. Britney proved that back in the day. She might have been crazy, but she was still hot.
right.
You
Right.
know. But
Yeah.
you know, it's like
I feel like the core concepts of everything that we've talked about for men, though, like that still applies.
it's
to women.
fundamental. Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so. Just not being one, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hard for me to speak for them. I don't think like them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't even know
Yeah.
how mentally they would handle things.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's like
It's very different than me.
Yeah, I bring that up because like I was talking to my doctor, Raja Grace. Her name's Grace. She's the sweetest doctor. I love her. She's my oncologist, but she you know, she was talking to me. She was like, "You're gonna lose your hair. Like it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
You know." And I was like, "Well, it's, you know, whatever. Like maybe I won't. I don't know." I was holding on to some hope for a little while, and you know, it kind of started thinning. You know, like right before I saw her last, and I was like, "Yeah, hair's coming out. That's the only problem that I'm having." You know, and she was like, "Well, I mean,
Pretty
not
much inevitable.
yeah." She was like, "Not to be insensitive, but at least you're a dude. Like
Yeah.
it's a lot easier for dudes than
I can
it is."
imagine it would be a lot easier for a man than a woman
And
to
so,
be faced with
and
it.
I was like, I mean, honestly, like, yeah, like there's, like, I can't imagine,
I couldn't either.
you know, being a woman losing my hair, because I feel like there's a little bit more pride and identity with most women, like with
Yeah, I
their
would see
hair.
that. But I still say, man, it's one of those things where, you know, man, have you seen The Fall of the House of Usher?
No, but I've heard good
Oh,
things.
so
about
good.
it.
So
Yeah.
look, there's a great one. So if life gives you lemon, you would say what?
Make lemonade.
No. You brand it. You get everybody selling lemons. You got
okay.
videos with lemons in the background. You make lemon beers. You make everything
Yeah.
lemon. You make it a slamware. Like, man, that was lemon, bro. And then once you're done, you sell everything lemon and walk away from it. That's what you do. And so, yeah, lemonade can be enjoyed in the moment. If you're a simpleton and that's all it takes, enjoy your lemonade. You know what I mean?
Right.
But fuck it, man. Life throws shit at you.
Right.
You gotta take the good with the bad. You know what I mean? I think, like, there's that old saying, like, how does it go? Hard times make strong men. Strong men make good times, and good times make weak men. It's kind of like that. Like, if you're not going through shit, you're probably a weak person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and we all go through stuff. Now, someone told me this a long time ago, and I really like this. So, they're like, if you look at life no matter what, you always have problems. Like, no matter what it is. Some are big, some are small, whatever, but for the most part, you choose your problems. Not all of them, but for the most part, right? Like, I look stupid today. Well, you put those clothes on. You know what I mean? Like, most of your problems are yours. Like, oh, my wife's leaving me. My dog sucks. He's an idiot. Whatever. For a lot of that, you did that. You chose that dog. You got to take responsibility, right? But like in the long run, so he was like, so let's say there's everyone in a room. You got a room with like 30 people, and they all put their problems down on a piece of paper and put it in a hat. And y'all started walking around and pulling. You're like, oh, fuck, I don't want to be dealing with that. Like your darkest problems, your biggest issues, right? People would pull those up. Like, I don't want to deal with that, right?
Right.
You'd probably rather have your own problems. So then you're like, okay, because you're already in the midst of managing those, right? So, cool. So I can be comfortable with my own problems. Now we know that, right? So now we know that we're always going to have problems, and I can be comfortable with my problems. What do I want in my perspective to be my problem? Right? Because you get to pick and choose, right? To care about what you consider a problem. If you're always going to have 10, you never have 9, you never have 11. You get to pick what you consider a problem.
Right.
Like you're finding, like you've got cancer, but you're not really finding a problem. You're trying to go through it and look at it like, you know what? It's a chance for me to learn, grow, blah, 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 right? So you're picking it not to be a problem. You get to pick your problem.
Right.
You having a flat tire would be maybe something you'd have as a problem. Like, fuck it, can't. And maybe not. Maybe it's like, oh, it's a good opportunity for me to learn how to switch a tire faster.
Right.
I don't know, whatever. But it's kind of a cool way, and it really just boils down to perspective is reality. And if you want to, like, if you want something to take you down, it's going to. You're in control of your own mind, your emotions, and if you don't want it to take you down, then it won't. If you don't allow it to. So there's an opportunity and growth from everything, and you only get growth from the hard times. It only comes from that. If everything is fucking rainbows, life is just, it's where you getting, like. It's so funny to me because this would probably piss a lot of people off, but in American society, we're so based around like this concept of Christianity and finding God and wanting to go to heaven as the end game. And heaven sounds like hell to me.
Because it's easy.
It's just perfect. I don't want it.
Right.
I don't want hell, but I don't want perfection. It doesn't, it's not appealing. 40 virgins and gold paved streets, and it doesn't matter which religion you look at, it's like ideologies depicted for what man wants. But I like going through hardship. Hardship makes growth. Growth makes me proud of what I can overcome and who I am. And I think subconsciously I seek it.
Right. Well, and like, dude.
It's gonna sting a little.
Okay. Woo! Putting mace on my fucking head right now? God damn, boy. Fuck. I was gonna try to keep this mostly PG until you sprayed that shit on
Light it up, bro.
Woo! Damn.
I'm not a PG person. There's plenty of cussing in there.
That's all right. No, but yeah, dude, that's good stuff, man. I'm excited that we did this.
And two, man, like, honestly, I don't know what it feels like for you going through this right now. I don't know how you feel about your support system. I don't know where you lie with it mentally. I can only see what you're allowing me to see, but I don't really know. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, like, on the cool, like, I don't even know, like I don't know exactly much about the cancer you have, or the success, or the worries of it popping back up, or I don't really know, right? Like, we haven't really hashed into it too much. I don't know a whole lot. But no matter what, like, the reason some people don't like scary movies is because they predict the plot twist, right? They're too simple to grasp. They might not know all the details, but they can see the bigger picture and kind of get a general consensus.
Right.
And like, I've never gone through this, but it seems like the biggest hurdle for someone in your position is overcoming the mental, right? And then I think that you have came up with a good approach where you're focused on health around it and being in control of that. Like, I think you probably having a very large water consumption is like very vital to your success story.
Right.
I think you eating correctly is very vital to your success story. Keeping a nice mental health is a super part of that as well, and not letting it like take you down.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But I've never gone through anything like that, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, yeah, dude.
But general consensus, I'm assuming just keeping that up to date. Someone going through what you're doing right now with like your head shave, man, that's just part of it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Consequences of what you're faced with. But honestly, I think it looks good. Look good, ball.
I'm a sexy motherfucker all the way, man.
Kind of look like a thumb, bro.
I do have that fucking cone head a little
you got
bit.
a thumb a little bit.
I got a little bit of
The
thumb.
head shape looks fine.
Yeah.
You got a square enough jaw.
Yeah.
Right?
Just keep my jaw
You're angled.
popped out a little bit. Oh.
You're angled enough. It looks good. I don't think it looks bad.
I think I'm gonna start like wearing some suits and shit.
It looked good on you.
Honestly, like I
Dude,
really.
when I wear my sports coats and I'm
Bro,
suited up, I look
need
dapper.
to. I need to go get
Fuck.
like some fitted.
What
suits.
size are you?
I don't even know. I don't even
You don't
know.
know?
I haven't gotten a suit, man, in
Here.
so long.
Let's pop these off. I got a suit out in the